Alright, as requested, more stealth tactics. I'm not going to waste any of your time, let's just get right into it. I'm using the AUG with a suppressor, and this is another team deathmatch on Villa. And right off the bat here, I want to get towards the front line of my team, or towards the edge of my team, wherever that is. Usually that is the general front line for where the action is going to be going on. And that's usually where you want to be, especially in a stealth role. You can afford to be a little bit further away from your team. You can afford to be a little bit on your own, and that's okay. Just keep an eye on your team. Make sure that you don't get clear across the map away from them, you know, because a lot of times if you go clear across the map hoping to get into the enemy spawn, the spawns will flip, and then your team will just spawn right next to you, and you won't find any enemies. The nice thing about being right next to your team, or at least maybe not necessarily right next to your team, but right on the edge of your team, like maybe roughly right here, is that this is where you encounter the enemies. And of course, this is as I get shot in the back, but this is where the action is going on. You want to be where the gunfights are happening, so you can flank the enemies, so you can hit them in the back, do that kind of thing. That's what stealth is for. Stealth is not... stealth, to me anyways, is not necessarily throwing Ghost on your class and then just doing the exact same shit that you always would. Ghost has a different set of rules associated with... Ghost. Stealth has a different set of tactics, rules, techniques, that kind of thing associated with it that set it apart from just your standard class, to me. Your standard assault rifle or SMG support type class. With stealth, I guess you could call stealth also kind of a support class, but you hinge on sneaking up on enemies and getting the drop on them. It's not necessarily outgunning enemies all the time. It's surprising enemies. Even when you attack them from the front, you should be surprising them. They shouldn't know you're there, you know what I mean, until you're there. That's the whole concept behind stealth, and I feel like that's what a lot of people miss, and sometimes it's what I miss even when I'm playing it. I forget, you know, hey, maybe I should focus on actually surprising enemies, you know, and it is important. Now here's another little tip that I want to point out, and it is really important. There you saw me. I got shot. Now instead of turning around and trying to take the guy out, which I almost would not have had any sort of chance in doing, I just ran away as quick as I could and tried to get behind cover, came back, and came at it from another angle. That's usually your best bet. You don't want to try to keep... if someone sees you first, then come at them a different way. Don't just keep... don't just stand there and try to beat them at their own game, basically, because they're going to win. The thing is, with when you're using a suppressor, you will be you'll have less damage over time. You'll produce less damage over time, even when your sights are down on an enemy. And in a game like Black Ops, where kills are, you know, they happen in a fraction of a second. A very tiny fraction of a second difference between you and your enemy firing can mean the difference between who wins. And oftentimes in a head-on battle, if you're using a suppressor and that kind of thing, it will mean that you lose. So if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to be fighting head-on, or if you end up seeing people head-on, make sure that they're at least surprised that you're there. Don't let them know you're there and then just keep attacking them. Once you've been spotted, turn around, circle around the area, and come back at it a different way. That was a kind of a long-winded explanation to explain one tiny little thing, but it's a central concept for this style of play, and I think it is really important. It's really important to understand that. So basically, once you okay, here's another thing. If you want to do well score-wise, if you want to if you want to have a high kill-death ratio, you gotta start running some of the higher kill streaks. Yes, you can get a very good ratio and a pretty high score with the smaller kill streaks, but I feel like you have to work at it a lot harder. With the higher kill streaks, once you start consistently getting to a Blackbird, it will feel a lot easier for you. And a lot of people use the lower kill streaks, like a lot of the other commentators will use lower kill streaks as a sort of gimp, like to gimp themselves and make their channels more entertaining. Now that ought to show you that the higher kill streaks are very effective once you can get them. But if you never try to get them, and I've mentioned this before, but if you never try to get the higher kill streaks, you're never going to get them. If you think that you can't, you probably won't. But if you're trying for higher kill streaks, if you're one of those people that's never gotten a Blackbird before, or if you've never gotten attack dogs or a gunship or whatever, you've never gotten up to an 11 kill streak, and some of you may laugh, but there are a lot of people out there that either A, have not tried the higher kill streaks, or B, just cannot get up to them. A stealth class is probably your best bet at doing this. But with that being said, if you're going to play a stealth class, for God's sake, please put a suppressor on your weapon. I cannot tell you how many people I played last night that were running around with Ghost using pretty much a FAMAS, just like this pretty much. A FAMAS dual mags, and I think even the guy I picked this FAMAS and dual mags off was using Ghost and Ninja and all that stuff. Now I know that's being really hypocritical because I'm using it right now. But see, the difference is I'm already past all my kill streaks, so I'm like, fuck it, whatever. And I'm almost out of ammo in my other weapon. So it's a little bit different picking up someone else's weapon. But, if you're trying to get your kill streaks up, try to use a suppressor. Otherwise, you're sort of kind of defeating the purpose of the class. Now, it's not that it's not effective at all. It's just that I feel like you're not going to be able to do as well because as soon as you fire, you have to move. Now, it's usually not a bad idea anyways, but for the most part, that's what playing a stealth class is about. As I narrowly escape an RCXD there. That was very frightening. Anyways, I feel like it's a good. It's one of the strongest points of a stealth class is to have a suppressor and not be detected, no matter what, unless you're seen. That's it can make things a lot easier for you. So, with that being said, the AUG or the FAMAS, either one of those is probably the best. They're probably the best assault rifles, anyways. But I'm not really sure if that's true, but they're definitely the best candidates for suppressor. They've got high damage, which doesn't even necessarily matter. Ooh, I got played there. Anyways, they've got, most importantly, high rate of fire and accuracy. Those two in combination on any class, like I said, is the best candidate for a suppressor. So if you're wondering, like, well, which weapons should I silence, which shouldn't I? Usually the best ones, because a suppressor usually cuts the damage drop-off range in half. So like high damage guns won't be nearly as effective as one that spits out as like twice as many bullets and is twice as accurate. Maybe it's not as powerful. But you see where I'm going with that. The math on that would leave the high rate of fire and accurate weapons still highly usable, and still you won't hardly notice a performance decrease on them, where you definitely would with things like an AK-47 or a Commando, things that get up to 40 damage and that kind of thing, that kill in 3 shots. So that is the game, folks. Let's see what the score is. 43-3, I believe. So pretty solid gameplay, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I am being informative enough. I hope I can give you guys enough of what you want. I know a lot of you guys really like seeing stealth tactics, and I enjoy playing that way. And a lot of you like to bitch about ghost and stealth and that kind of thing, and that's fine too. I really don't care. Anyways, leave me a comment, send me a message, let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry I haven't been posting as much lately. I'm going to be trying to post more. I know I always say that, but it really is true. I appreciate your guys' support a lot, and thank you very much for watching, guys. Peace.